who keeps 10 million in a sofa. If we discuss, if we talk about legalities, big if we talk about legalities, ibizothi chief asifuna ukwazi ba le mali yakho bekutheni we keep a bank la isafe khona kangaka uyikhuphe kwi-safe uyigcina esofini. You are not part of us. Eka 2002 ANC but le iyaxoxa.
The ANC's shocking drop to 40% in voter support marks a historic low. But who is responsible for this collapse? Is it Cyril Ramaphosa, Fikile Mbalula, or the ANC and EC? Let's dig into the facts and find out. Greetings everyone and welcome to Inkarhi Its Time. Today we take a hard look at the ANC's dramatic decline to 40% in national support, a historic low for the party that once stood as a pillar of South African politics. The big question is, who is responsible for this decline? Is it Cyril Ramaphosa, Fikile Mbalula, or the National Executive Committee of the ANC and EC? Or is this a sign of deeper systemic issues within the ANC? To add weight to this discussion, we'll also hear insights from respected political analyst Sandile Swana and Professor Derek Kotze, as well as former Gauteng Premier Mbazima Shilowa. Let's unpack the facts. Cyril Ramaphosa, leadership under fire. As the head of the ANC and President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa has faced growing criticism. His leadership style is often labeled as indecisive and overly cautious. From load shedding to unemployment and the unrelenting scourge of corruption, South Africans are seeing little progress. Political analyst Sandile Swana observes, Ramaphosa's inability to tackle this crisis decisively has eroded public trust and alienated even long-time ANC supporters. Cyril promised us a new dawn, but for many, that promise has dimmed. Could his leadership or lack thereof be the main reason for the ANC's decline?
The province of KwaZulu-Natal has been for the longest time outside the capabilities of the core leadership of the ANC. They've not known how to manage KZN, and for that reason, it was JZ who was eventually sent there, and it was JZ who who got the province of KwaZulu-Natal under control. The ones who are in Luthuli House now, who are in charge of the African National Congress, as I look around at them, none of them really has got any competitive edge relative to JZ and the MK party, which has brought them into disarray and is going to continue to do so.
So what does that mean then for what they say they want to do, which is to reorganize, reinforce and rebuild the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal?
Well, you know, in the villages there, when we were involved in stick fighting and other fights, there was a time that you say, you retreat, you run actually. There's a time these guys are on the retreat, they're running.
Oh yes, I mean, they must start from the head. What about the leadership style of the current leader of the organization of the party, Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa? Is it possible that maybe in his leadership style, the way he does things may have attributed to the poor performance of these provinces? Because, you know, an organization adren is a system, you know, it's interrelated, interconnected, interdependent. Something may happen in Eastern Cape, only to find that the effects of that thing, we might feel it in Mpumalanga. So it doesn't mean that just because something is happening in KZN and everything is around there. Of course, yes, the arrival and the emergence of MKP has really contributed to the ANC's poor performance, and also the I think ANC underestimated and underrated Jacob Zuma and the MKP. And they did not really take it seriously before the elections. They thought they would be able to counter him. They thought they would be able to put a strategy. You remember during electioneering, they unleashed almost all their different stalwarts, including Thabo Mbeki, Kgalema Motlanthe, all these stalwarts, just to put them. They even deployed Thabo Mbeki to KwaZulu-Natal to go there and assist the structures. So we need this collective responsibility and collective accountability to ANC. They must stop the blame gaming or finger pointing now, that the national pointing fingers at the PEC pointing fingers at the NEC, because the PEC may come and say, but NEC, what exactly did you do as well? Because some of the things that are happening now may be attributed to you at a national level.
Fikile Mbalula, architect of division. Next, we turn to Fikile Mbalula, the ANC Secretary General. Mbalula's leadership has been marked by controversial decisions that many believed have accelerated the ANC's collapse. First, his role in ousting Jacob Zuma led to Zuma forming the Kondos Party, MKP, splintering the ANC voter base, especially in KwaZulu-Natal, a historically loyal province. Then came the GNU deal, seen by critics like Professor Derek Kotze as a betrayal of the ANC's founding principles. This deal, linked to alleged concession to white monopoly capital, alienated the ANC's core supporters. While Mbalula positions himself as a presidential material, many wonder, has he done more harm than good? Is he the right person to guide the ANC out of this crisis?
Well, it is very, very significant. As you indicated, KwaZulu-Natal and together with that, Gauteng are the core provinces when it comes just to the numbers in terms of the proportional representation system. And for the ANC at national level, as well as in the provinces, it's absolutely critically important that they turn around the trend. It's not a trend that started with this election, I must emphasize. In the case of KwaZulu-Natal, it started 5 years before this election in 2019, when the ANC already lost 10% of its total. So when one combines the two elections, they lost 47%, which is absolutely dramatic. And that is, I think, therefore very much justified that the ANC at the national level will have to intervene in a very dramatic way in this situation for it to be turned around.
As you mentioned, the elections, with the May elections, the ANC secured less than 17% of the vote in KZN, a decline attributed to several factors, including the growing influence of the Umkhonto Wesizwe party. As the party now looks to the various scenarios as it deliberates on the fate of KZN, the leadership structure there, what considerations does it need to take into account?
Yeah, I think this is the difficult question. The ANC, it doesn't appear at this stage have identified or diagnosed what exactly is the reason, except that President Ramaphosa, former President Zuma, he is an absolutely dominant factor in this. And
the ANC NEC, a fractured body. The ANC National Executive Committee, or NEC, has also played a significant role in this decline. Tasked with guiding the party, the NEC has instead been plagued by factionalism, infighting, and a failure to address South Africa's real issues. Mbazima Shilowa recently criticized the NEC, stating they have become a body of blame shifters instead of problem solvers. The public no longer trusts their leadership. This internal chaos has left the ANC out of touch with the people it once served. Could this dysfunction within its highest leadership body be the reason the party is in free for all?
I think that it was inevitable that proper stock taking would have to be done to say we had a huge majority in KZN going into the May elections. When we came out of it, we were only 17%, and we're not even the majority, or rather the leading party there. MK is the leading party with at least close to 45% there. So one has to be able to ask the tough questions. What happened? Were the leadership aware? Were they conniving? Or were some of their structures at a regional or branch level not telling the truth? So those things you need to be able to take. And obviously, the leadership there has to take some responsibility. But it is not only the provincial leadership that is there. There's also NEC members deployed in that province. What were their views? What did they see? Did they underestimate MKP? And therefore, going forward, will they be able to dislodge MKP into 2026 local government elections, or is it going to be decimation further? So I think that decision will have to be made. And it seems that the ANC's view is that, one, it's either you disband or you augment them. Disbandment just simply means you're going to be causing more strife. It doesn't mean you can do it. It just means you must be willing to accept that there's likely to be more strife. Augmentation means that you're going to have people who add there, but then may be told, look, you can't make this or that decision because you were not elected, were elected. So it may be that they will dissolve them, but keep most of the PEC members, but bringing in new people.
The ANC's decline to 40% is more than just a number. It's a wake-up call. If Ramaphosa, Mbalula, and the NEC don't take responsibility and implement meaningful change, the party risks losing its relevance entirely. But here's the big question. Is the ANC still capable of renewal? Or are South Africans ready to embrace alternatives like the MKP? Voters are sending a clear message: deliver results or face the consequences. Will the ANC listen, or is this the beginning of its end?
So there will be no holy cows. Decisions will be taken to strengthen ourselves in that particular province. Surely people in the opposition side of politics in KZN, they are riding Ferraris, and we can't respond to a Ferrari with a conquest. We need to get into an aeroplane and fly. We have lost significantly in KZN. What we have emphasized here is that no blame game. We are all in this together. And the NEC will not be hamstrung by not taking decisions on a situation that is dire, that requires intervention and decisive intervention. So that's what we're going to happen.
Now it's your turn. Do you think Cyril, Mbalula, and the ANC can turn things around? Or is this the end of an era for the ANC? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Inkarhi Its Time for more in-depth analysis of South Africa's most pressing issues. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and take care. Thank you for watching.